Sonny, it has come to my attention that this is what already there's too many fucking words in her sentence. I'm just like, okay, I have all day because I'm paid by the hour, but you don't have all day. You might go at any minute, so hurry your shit up.
Seconds, woman.
Anyways, she pulls out her iPhone, and she's obviously asking me an iPhone-related question. But the point is, she pulls out, it's come to my attention that this is what's called a Macintosh phone.
What? A Macintosh?
Okay, the only thing I could mutter out was, "You're not wrong." Like, that, I don't even think people who work for Apple are allowed to say Macintosh anymore. Like,
I haven't heard Macintosh in such a fucking long time. That's great.
It gets even worse. Then the phone rings while it's in her hand. I could tell she's probably had this thing for a day and not done anything. You are so
demons.
Demons. Not close to her. So it rang in her hand. She got jolted out of her sentence that she was trying to formulate, and stared at the phone. Default ringtone, no picture or anything like that, because I also said like she doesn't have the phone for a long time. She does it. She freaks out, does a little quick juke to the right and then to the left, facing back to me, and then I swear.
So with a step to the right.
She did like a really quick step to the right and left. I don't know why, but then I swear to God, she took the phone and shook it up and down. She shook it up and down vertically and then shook her head. And I just didn't know what to do with the situation. So I pretended that someone called me on the little walkies that we have and I walked away. I just didn't know what to do. Wow. It was the oldest thing that has ever happened in my life.
Could you feel it draining the youth out of you just being around it?
37 years old. I started at 25.
Oh my God.
Did I do for something?
God damn it.
I have to go make fun of you elsewhere.
That is the worst thing you could have said. Like, that girl is not reassured at all. Like, no! Yeah! It's pretty much what you just did. I'm not gonna make fun of you. I just hate you now. Excuse me. I fucked up.
I have gotten that a lot with old people, that they're really afraid we're going to make fun of them, which we're doing right now, obviously. But really afraid. They're like, don't make fun of me, or don't freak out. I don't have the latest. They constantly think that we're going to make fun of them. And I don't know if that's something that's always just happened in history, that the older generation gets made fun of for using older shit. Like, I don't know if like people that like were on horses were like flipping.
I would love to see a Best Buy where there's just a bunch of employees harassing old people. Like, look at this chick. She can't even use her phone.
And then everybody goes, ah! And like points and laughs.
I don't care how it works on the farm.
Well, so this kind of reminds me.
Now.
This kind of reminds me of a game that I used to play when I worked retail at Staples. One of my
why?
No. So a coworker of mine had this wonderful game. It was called the Cup the Balls game, and the idea was whenever you're talking to an old person while they're doing something related to like technology, and you could tell they were a little bit hard of hearing, you would try and slip the phrase "cup the balls" into your customer service as many times as you could.
Yeah,
Yes, but with a much harder thing to say.
So give me an example. Like, tell me
well,
one.
so if you get this piece of hardware, it's a network adapter. Basically, you plug this into that, and then you cup the balls, and it starts to work. You just do something like that, and you do it as much as you can. And the record that we had in the store was 17 times in one person. No, but if I ever play this game again, totally going to.
If you don't have the proper adapter, you just need to tickle the taint.
But you lose immediately if they catch you. So the whole idea is not to be caught.
Did anybody ever?
Fired if they catch you?
Well, yeah, but you lose the game if they catch you. That's the big point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the St. Rose?
So bad.
Yeah, okay. Cool. That's the first time I think I've heard that from us when we talk about a pre-ordered game. Like, what is this?
But no, that paraphrasing is perfect for the Saints Row series because it's like,
it really is.
Fuck the storyline. Let's get to it. Nice. That's hysterical.
Oh, fuck the AR trainings.
Dude, I was...
Or like any of the things you had to do in the original flight stuff built for Grand Theft Auto, where basically you just kind of like wobble and then crash. This is like fucking impossible.
Can you do joystick with your hands again? Because that just got me there, almost. Thank you.
I know, right?
I was looking at you in the love holes.
Jesus. I don't think I have those.
You should see a
Where
doctor
are
if you
the
don't have love
holes
holes.
located again?
We're going to take a break. We're going to go find the love holes.
Oh, right there. Oh.
Never doing that again. Throw away that banana.
Whoa, that is not the love hole.
I can't see anymore.
Wasn't this a standalone expansion? Yeah, not
But they
bad.
also did release a. If you don't own Saints Row 4 already, they released the Saints Row 4 Presidential blah 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 whatever edition on PS4 and Xbox One with all the DLC, including Gat Out of Hell. Which for me, since I've never even played 4, that's a legitimate purchase for me. Maybe.
Right. Okay, how'd you like it?
Yeah, that was obnoxious.
But you can't use it against bosses.
Huh.
Hold on, Eddie. Are you playing it on the PC? Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a console specific aspect of the summons, but yes, you do have to go re-get the summon items from the characters. But it's a day, not as in gameplay, a day as in a literal day. Like I would come back tomorrow and I'd get 4 new summons. Like I would stop playing, play tomorrow, and I would be able to run and get 4 new summons. I don't know if that's a
That's
console
really
specific thing, but yeah,
It probably
I definitely
isn't.
use summons many times.
That's really funny that, yeah, I mean, because it says day, but then there's like days in the game. I can see how you can make
I
that
get the
mistake.
days in the game. That's part of the fun and the joke and the story.
Am I the only one who beat the game with only using each summon once?
Funny.
Yeah.
Well, there is actually a reward if you do use Mr. Slave summon while in the not trying to spoil, but in the Mr. Slave level. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you use the Mr. Slave summon, it's an inside joke, is what the name of the reward is for that.
Well done.
Nice. I wonder if it's a bug then.
Because I was playing on the Xbox.
So yeah, I never had this problem in it. It's weird.
Yeah, one or the other.
The
I'm gonna
internet's
go
a
with
big
that one.
place.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're playing on hard, right? Sure.
I'm the other way around.
Those aren't people.
Oh yeah,
That's not even that
That's not even the
bad.
worst scene.
That's 10 times worse. Yeah.
My favorite summon was still the guy who owns the She-Walk, though. I'm gonna do my war dance now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there
think the
was
funny thing is, I think the only part of the game that I've seen was that scene because I was checking your the stream out while I was in
Yeah.
Sacramento before Vegas.
like there was
Oh,
some
that's
more
great.
jokes, and there was like some really, really messed up stuff in that game, and they had a problem with the anal probe, which makes it to TV just fine.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Show, and so bad.
Oh, that was great.
I loved playing Canada so much.
Did you get dire aids? Did you get dire aids? Oh,
Dire AIDS is so much fun.
if you get bit by the snake, you get dire aids, and when you get it cured, they go, you still have dire aids, but it's just not going to kill you.
It's like Magic Johnson.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, brand new, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
New to him.
Well, right, Gat is, but yeah. Anyways,
I'm sick of your
Right.
hats.
Pressure.
You didn't press the wrong time.
Oh, boo.
oh god.
Boo.
All right. What is it? I've heard okay things about that. I've heard okay things about that. Right.
He's all about that shit. It's all about that shit.
Fuck you, Disney.
I did jazz hands. I did jazz hands.
I'm doing jazz hands, man. Oh god.
He just starts throwing gang signs.
Yeah, gang sign jazz hands.
Moose. That's not a Disney song.
The police song "Oh Shit."
Oh, okay. So it's Indiana.
Words. Good at those. Enunciate.
Remix. Oh God. Do you like drop bass?
You just did the Honda move from Street Fighter right there.
Everybody take a moment to just fucking picture Eduardo in his living room, like jazz handing it out and shit.
And then
I'm still
fucking
picturing him
punching.
sitting on the couch, however, even though it told him ass.
He's just like, Gangsta's Paradise.
Jesus.
Okay, well, to be fair, we can all see Tyler's DDR DDR panels right behind him.
I'll rock that shit live in front of your faces.
Yeah.
Don't really want that. So one of the things I wanted to talk about this week was kind of an interesting piece of news. So Joystick.com, they're a video game review site. They decided to stop putting scores on their reviews starting this year. And so I was listening to their podcast, actually, and they talked a bit about their reasonings, and it's kind of an interesting thought process, but the basis of it is that they found that they're actually not useful anymore. Like, they're just arbitrary numbers that don't do anything. And for anybody who's looking for a way to like get a quick idea of what the game's like, just having a summary at the bottom of the review is a much more useful thing. And although they were catching a bit of flack for it, the biggest thing is that they don't feel that they actually have any use, and they actually distract from the reviews that they're giving. So if you give a 5 out of 5, they might go, "Oh, that's a perfect game," and then when they talk about, or when they're talking about like it's 5 out of 5 because it's a really solid game, but there's a bunch of issues, and they talk about the issues, people don't notice that kind of thing, and I think that's actually a push into the right direction personally. But I was curious what you guys were thinking. Do you think a review needs to have a score? Like what?
I think that it needs to have a score, but I don't think that it needs to have just one solid score. I think they should do like 4 or 5 categories and score them that way.
Like gameplay, audio, graphics, all jazz like that. Okay,
that makes sense. I don't think those scores really matter. Like, if somebody wants to know what the specifics are, that's what the whole review is for, and having a...
But occasionally, I don't want to read a 2-page review about
that's why you have a summary at the end.
Even still, like for some games, you just want to look and be like, "Oh shit, that got a 7. Okay, maybe I'll check it out." Sometimes that's all you care about.
Yeah.
No, I understand that.
Admittedly, it takes away from the thing they just wrote, and I get that if they're trying to push people to read the thing they just wrote, fine. But in general, are you talking if scores are useful? Fuck yes, they are. They save me time.
There are games like that.
So they understand that. I was listening to the podcast, and they talk about how like they understand everybody wants to be able to do that kind of thing. But again, they're also kind of looking for like the idea of like continuing the discussion about a game, like through the comments, or like continuing to update stuff or whatever. And so like although it's kind of like, okay, having no score means you can't just look at a score and go, okay, it's a good game or not. Like there's still that kind of information for people who are looking for that, just in a paragraph at most, which I think that anybody can take a second to read a paragraph personally. But I kind of agree.
Sometimes you don't, right? Like there's times where I really don't give a shit what this person thought individually of the parts. I just want to know, did they think it was a good game? Like, is it something that I should be interested in, right? So like for Last of Us was a perfect example for me. Like, I'm kind of overdone with the whole like end of the world zombie kind of genre. I'm really kind of sick of it.
But they weren't zombies. They were weird mushroom people.
Oh yeah, they were
those are different.
Zombies with mushrooms.
They were fungu dudes.
But the point was like, okay,
Fungies.
am I even like, should I even give this a chance, or is this going to be another fucking DayZ fiasco?
I like DayZ.
DayZ's a good game, but I get what you're saying.
When it was originally released, it was kind of a shithole. But anyway,
it's because it was a shitty mod made for a game. But at the same time, when they made it,
didn't they try to sell it as a standalone game before fixing a lot of the issues?
That's because they changed engines entirely, man. Like they're trying to make the game work, and that's the whole point.
But my point is that I didn't want that to happen again.
I get you.
So for Last of Us, I was just like, okay, well, fuck, I don't want to sit here and hear all fucking about it because I'm really not interested in the genre. Is it a good game? Should I even fucking start caring? And that's when I just wanted a score to look at. And I actually look at different scores because I know that, like, IGN is kind of known for pandering to the fucking developers and shit, or the publishers. Right. So I look at different scores and compare them. And then at that point, if I'm really interested, I can go through and be like, okay, well, why did they give them a 7 and why did they give them a 9? Oh, they're fucking pandering. It's actually a 7, okay. Or it's actually somewhere in between or whatever. So I think scores are good, but I don't think that they're the most important part.
Well, yeah, and then not only that, but one of the more really interesting points that were made that I really liked the way they commented on it is that I guess some developers will pay out to the people that work, based off of their reviews that they get. And, the people at Joystick flat out said, we never wanted to be a part of the industry at all. Like, we don't care for the developers at all. Like, that's not the point of this. The point of this is for the consumer, the person's buying the game. We don't have any interest or want to be part of that ecosystem at all. And I thought that was a really cool, little thing to note because at the end of the day, some people think that the reviewers are in tandem with those people, and it's just not true. Reviewers and developers are very separate people, and the reviewers aren't really doing it for the developers. They're doing it for everybody else.
And I think that would depend on the reviewer.
There's also
sure.
a different thing. So some people think that reviewers are in publishers' pockets because they get advanced copies of games and. Right. I remember Sony doing a shitty thing where they gave out PlayStations at one point or something. Yeah. And I understand that can skew it, but at that point it's in the reviewer's integrity, right? If they're gonna be allowed to be skewed, just because they don't give you they give you free stuff doesn't mean you have to do it.
Review copies are kind of required, but things like the whole PlayStation are kind of more of an issue.
Yeah, so. But even people. I've read articles not really articles, but forum posts where people are complaining that reviewers are getting free games and advanced copies, and I'm just like, you really have to understand that this is their fucking job. This is what they do, right? It isn't just like, oh, I'm giving you a free copy because I want you to give it a good score. It's I'm giving you a good copy because I want you to give me free publicity.
It's like a toothpaste company giving a dentist free things of toothpaste. That's just a thing that happens. They go, here, try this toothpaste. And the dentist can go, this is fucking horrible toothpaste. I'm not recommending this. Or, oh, yeah, I'd give this to people. It's the same thing. Nobody's like, oh, they're pandering to dentists, giving away all the good toothpaste.
Why do we keep coming back to dentists?
Because my mouth hurts.
Because we've had a lot of really high people on our cast.
Oh, Jesus.
That was before.
I'm just being accurate here.
We should redo that drunk cast, that horrible drunk cast, when we all have actually internet connections that work.
Yeah, we should, but at the same time, we shouldn't.
We'll do a dentist cast. We all have to go have
we need to have a medic on standby because Steve looked like he was gonna die.
I still love the fact that you freaked out. Yeah,
I didn't freak out. I was just like, Steve's gonna die. And then I came on with cast.
I just thought you were going to die. I didn't care.
Right, I thought that I had told you guys, in advance or some party before that, when I drink that stuff.
Not that you turned into a fucking Pinto-looking cow.
Yeah.
Right. I guess I wasn't too specific on how I looked when that happens, but no, it's kind of ridiculous. It seriously
looks like you were developing a small plague at the time.
Yeah, it's like me saying...
No, I know. I know what it looks like. It's awful.
I have water.
Nice. So do I.
It's like me saying, oh, when I get drunk, I get a slight British twang.
Oh, yeah, no. So, let me explain this shit really quick, because that sounds weird coming from him. So, Eduardo has had some head trauma in so much as he's been blown up.
Twice.
Yeah, that happened.
Twice, yeah. Sometimes you're in a war, and there's bombs, and you get blown up,
so
and then you get blown up again. And yes, that is why he looks like that.
They took my shins.
So Eduardo has some fucking issues. My brother made the mistake of sneaking up on Eduardo at one point, and Eduardo fucking flipped him over his shoulder. You just don't do certain things, you know?
Right.
So
I
for some reason, when Eduardo, you can always tell when Eduardo is starting to get a little drunk, because he slowly slips into a really terrible British accent.
Awful. It happens.
I don't understand. He doesn't understand. He's totally aware of it. It just sort of comes out when he's drunk.
I'm aware that it happens, but I'm not aware of when the switch happens. People are always like, "You're talking British." I'm like, "Fuck you, you're talking British."
Except because
Well, that just sounds like
you
we
love
do
your
on a daily
talking
basis.
British. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
fuck
not.
awful.
It's not authentic. Although there have been some drunk people who have believed it, and I'm always like, I always tell them it's not real. Trust me, it's not. I'm not here trying to be funny. I'm not trying to impress nobody. Because if this does it for you, I don't really want to be associated. Just saying. But anyways, so
Like a brown Benedict Cumberbatch.
yeah, not even a little. Like I wish I had that fucking voice. It's like the fucking panty dropping voice.
Well, except for then you couldn't say penguin.
I don't know if that's true. I've never
Actually, no. There's legitimately so.
Yeah, you
Cumberbatch
had trouble
did
with
a-
words too.
No. I had to take a second to like put the sentence together. No, Cumberbatch basically did a documentary in which he was supposed to say penguin a bunch of times because he's on penguins. He can't say that word properly at all.
He's no Morgan Freeman.
It's like penguin. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was awful though. It's funny. You guys can look it up at some point. Just look up like
back
Cumberbatch
on
says
topic.
penguin.
Yeah, you saying I get red when I drink was
Oh, yeah, no.
yeah, like
Fucking
me saying I get a slight
understand.
twang.
I understand.
Oh man.
But
The only thing that happens to me when I drink is honestly, it only happens when I'm drinking Jaeger, because everything else
You're welcome.
we need to have more Jaeger nights.
more or less, it's just like I'll drink and I'll get to the same level of generic drunk that every human initially gets. But if you put any amount of Jaeger in me before, after, middle drinking, whatever, it's like old Disney cartoons where there's like a fucking drunk walking down the street. I'm doing the hiccup and shit. I'm swishing my hand across the table and just sweeping everything off. It's just only Jaeger though. I don't fucking get it.
What do you bitches know about anime?
We have an experiment now. A friend of mine from work brought me the holiday spice Jaeger. It's vanilla cinnamon Jaeger.
Ooh, shit, that sounds great.
We have to see if this has the same effect. And actually, no,
Wait,
it's not
Do
really
they do
that great.
scary
It kinda
cinnamon
sucks,
Jaeger and posh cinnamon Jaeger too?
but- No, it came out during the holidays. It's holiday fucking...
I'll just turn into a silly drunk Santa.
Oh, it'll be adorable.
Let's get over here.
Wait. Although after
So
our
not
little
good.
after our bout in Vegas, Eduardo, I ended up picking up another bottle of the Rumpelmints, the
Nice.
peppermint
I
schnapps.
never had any.
You had a taste of it.
No,
Is
When
They
we
had
threw
one
the shot
shot.
glass in there.
they had one shot
Yeah.
and you had it.
Yeah, but I took the glass and I put it in yours, so it had a little bit of the taste.
No, it
Indirect.
tasted like mojito with
Wait,
a
wait,
little
wait.
bit of schnapps. That's it.
Devin, isn't that spiced Jaeger something that we were gonna try together next time we get together?
No, you were supposed to try my nice spiced rum and we forgot.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say because it's a concert we're both going to soon, we could have a couple.
I'm not
cocktails.
traveling with that.
Okay.
So-
I want to throw it out there.
I'm
Was
also
this
giving my boss a ride with me. So
Was
So
this
you
schnapps
gotta
that
find
like
out
that
if he
berry
smokes first.
schnapps? You remember that berry schnapps that we got that one time? Devin?
same
Just-
company.
Fuck that!
Different
Fuck that
schnapps.
shit! Get that shit as far the fuck away from me as humanly possible. You don't know how much shit this put me through. Okay?
I think we can tell
So-
based off of your reaction.
100 proof berry vodka or berry schnapps. 100
That sounds
proof berry
amazing.
schnapps.
Was it good?
No, it's fucking horrible.
I will describe exactly the process of events because we bought it. I'm pretty sure we bought it on your birthday. It wasn't
Something like
finished
that.
till months later because we just fucking didn't want to. But basically, this was the process: is every time I come over to Devin's place, we would pour a shot. We'd stand there just staring at each other with angry fucking faces on, do the shot. And what would happen is you would swallow it. It'd be like really, really ridiculously strong alcohol taste. The fumes from the alcohol would come up your throat, turn the spit in your mouth into more alcohol, and then you had to swallow that. That's how fucking strong this shit was.
Wait, basically you're
sounds
saying you had to
awesome.
gargle it?
It
Kind
was
of.
like 2 shots every time we took a shot.
Oh, the stuff was so brutal, dude. It was horrible. No, but the
And we
peppermint one
watched
is great.
Snowman and did a drinking game to that shit with that, and that fucking was terrible.
Oh
You
man.
take a little bit of the peppermint one and put it in hot chocolate. It's fucking delicious.
I want to play some of these drinking games with you guys too. I know you guys drink during the cast, but the problem is I have work the next fucking day, and
Why?
that
Why?
story I told earlier would have ended up much different. Like Your monitor wasn't plugged in, bitch. You're just fucking wandering off. You know?
Yes!
So
You need to get drunk the night before now.
that's
that
just
sounds
it.
great.
I would lose my job.
Give me my fucking Macintosh phone.
It would only take like 20 minutes. I'd walk in and be like, it'd be like, hey, Eduardo, I'd be like, fuck your face, whore.
Well,
And then just
So-
get back to doing what I'm doing.
next week I won't be here because I have to go to my company week. It's going to be taking place in San Francisco. The first night we're there, me and the other IT guy who are going up the first night, we're like, so we get in town at like 6. It takes us like an hour to set things up. What do we do after? You want to get hammered? Uh-huh. So we're going to take the HR girls and we're going to go get hammered. Then the next night, me and Steven are going to a concert in the city. So I'm leaving company week to go to a concert and then come back to company week. And then that night,
You want to get hammered?
we probably will. And then the next
No,
night
you won't.
is my
in San
team.
Francisco do either fucking like $10 shots or fucking beer and wine only.
We'll make it fucking work. It's company week. We can get free
Bring a
booze at the
flask.
hotel. But then, so the next night is my team my team dinner with the IT guys. It's a bunch of IT guys having dinner. We're gonna get drunk. And then the night after that, there's supposed to be like some picnic in the park that the whole company goes to, but a bunch of us already decided we're gonna go to the bar and get drunk. And most of this is paid for by the company.
That's fucking fantastic.
Right?
Well,
It's going to
have
be
a
the
lot of
only
fun.
upside coming up.
There-
Everything
San
else
Fran-
is shit.
San Francisco drinking somehow lets me find the best homeless people that have ever existed. Like seriously, like only when I'm in San Fran, and only when we've been drinking, not even like going crazy, just out drinking, the most magical homeless people will come out of nowhere. Like I'll give you a perfect example: walking down the sidewalk, like 4-person wide sidewalk, like 4 people could stand right next to each other, and we were doing that because no one was on the fucking street. There was a homeless dude that apparently everyone else saw, but I didn't because he was behind a stick. And
Oh,
I'm
the
like,
tree man!
I
He
thought he was
died!
fucking
The street man.
imaginary.
He
You're
died.
like, everyone else is seeing him, but I'm not. I think you're fucking
and then I
crazy.
got up to him.
died.
What?
Tree
When?
man is dead.
Wait, when?
Like a year or two ago, Tree Man died.
Okay, then this is different Tree Man because this happened like 3 months ago.
Really?
Because this dude was just
Tree
hiding
Man.
Maybe
behind.
he's
The
not
return.
dead. Maybe he faked his death.
He's just hiding in the woods.
Better hide behind trees.
No, but
Exactly.
this dude just had the fucking, like, not even, like, because I say bush to make the story sound better and make me not sound like an idiot, but it was a stick with some leaves on it. And he just was kind of crouched in the middle of the thing in my direction because I was on the end of it. And everybody else saw him, didn't pay attention. I walked right the fuck into him. And instead of, like, saying anything around the lines of, I need change of money, he just went, rah! And then I walked around him. He laughed at me. The end of transaction. He didn't want no fucking money. He just wanted to scare me as a bush.
This guy sounds amazing.
Okay.
I was like,
I'm gonna-
you are winning, sir.
All right.
Enough
Hard,
tangents, you got
hard
something?
topic switch. I'm gonna steer this bitch back in just a little bit.
I'm
so
a little hard.
that's not what I was going for. Segue song.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
And
Okay.
you guys are the season. I need the jazz hands like I always do this time.
So the big,
Exactly.
big comic news this week is it's been made official, not just the Marvel Ultimate series, but Marvel's main continuity is going to end. Both universes are going to collide and end, and they're going to do... This isn't their words, this is my words, but they're going to do a new 52-esque reboot. They're going to start everything over.
Comics, not
So
films.
we're gonna get
yes?
origin.
Comics, yes.
Okay.
We're gonna get origin stories for everybody again. I take it then.
Well, they haven't announced that, and if you look at New 52, no. Like, we didn't really get hardly any origin stories. We come, like, at the most we come in, like, a year after most people have had their powers. Like, all that boring stuff where they're learning. Let's get right into where they're just fighting things. But if it's anything like Ultimate, then yeah, we will get origin.
So is that why
So,
they're able to kill Wolverine? Because they're going to reboot soon?
pretty
Oh,
much,
shit.
yeah.
God
Damn
damn it.
Damn it, Marvel, you did it again. That bitch will never die.
We knew that was coming.
We
I'm
did.
just
We
saying.
called it.
Cats will live forever.
We absolutely
We
called
fucking
it.
called that shit days ago.
I will
So,
admit, because like we said, they're not new origin stories, and I didn't delve that deep into the New 52, but I did love it the first time they had Green Lantern meet Batman in the New 52, because the first interaction was, holy shit, you're real? Because it was because if you're a Green Lantern and then you just like hear rumors of a guy just in a batsuit fighting crime, that's the reaction you have. Holy shit, you're a thing?
Right.
well, actually,
So-
my favorite New 52 interaction was the Flash talking to the rest of the Justice League when they're talking about the new Green Lantern being there, Simon Baz. And he goes, "Wait, there's a new Green Lantern? I thought we only got a new Green Lantern when the old one died. Did Guy die? Tell me Guy died. Oh, I'm going to hell for that."
Nice.
Yeah, that happens. That's
Oh,
a thing.
I'm curious though. Has there been any
Nobody likes Guy.
announced things?
Wait,
I
what?
like
Like, has there been any announced
No, they haven't announced what's coming out because they're just now starting the arc. They're just now announcing the arc that's going to end them.
You know one good thing about this though?
Hmm.
No more Colossal Knot.
Oh God. So there's a
don't know
lot of
that.
good things
Don't
about this.
say that. You don't know that.
He's at least going to be gone to start.
There's a lot of good things about this. Really, most notably, and I was actually talking to somebody online about this when I read it. It's really hard for
What
any
was
of
up with that
us.
Pause.
Acid reflux.
Oh,
Just
I thought you were getting
bear
all
with
dramatic
me.
on me.
No.
Do you need a
Just,
skull?
Just Bernie, death in my chest.
exercise, terrible eating habits,
Yeah, pretty much. Minor heart attack. It's fine.
I was just going to say heart attack.
Devin, you need the medical minor.
We're not going there.
Okay.
All right,
Another-
anyways, continue
For
on.
another time.
Good
So-
thing that's happening.
The good thing about it is it's really hard for people like us or our generation's kids and so forth to get into comics because when you're going to go read Daredevil from the 1960s to go read the origin of things.
Wikipedia, bro.
But it's difficult and it's not the same
It is.
thing and it's just too hard to catch up and get into these series. We need a new jumping off point. Ultimate tried to do it, and I actually really like what Ultimate did, but they threw in the dead means dead rule too quick, and then they went, "Fuck, we're out of a cast." Fuck.
We killed everybody
Um,
with Lee
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
McStatman.
that's probably the biggest reason why I haven't gotten into Marvel or DC comics is I just don't really want to deal with all that, you know?
That's why indie comics have been so much better for me. Or like shit like Ghostbusters, where you don't need to know the past. They fucking hunt ghosts.
Yeah, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'm actually surprised there haven't been any like solid procedural style comic books.
I mean, there used to be like back in the day, before superheroes became a thing. It was all about like weird tales and mystery and like cowboy
Detective
comics.
stories
Yeah,
and
detective.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
cowboy
just doing like a
comics were
procedural
huge.
comic book would be cool. you know?
Actually,
there are
in-
a couple.
I'm sure there are a couple, but I just don't know any off the top of my
in
head. You know?
Spanish, like when I was a kid, my dad would read comics, but they were more like
What are comics like in Spanish? Tell me all about it.
They were cowboy
They're
comics.
all about jumping
but,
fences.
but they were cowboy comics, but they were kind of like romance novels, but for guys. So there were comics.
Wait.
I'm pretty sure they call that porn.
Did it?
No,
did
no,
it?
I want you to say romance novels, but for guys in Spanish.
Yes.
No.
So-
He wants you to say that.
I want you to say it in Spanish.
Novelas de romance en español para hombres.
Yes.
Wait, starring Buki's Pueblo.
Presentando Binky's Pueblo.
End of
Binky's
podcast.
Pueblo is
Shut
my
it off now.
favorite.
We're not getting any
Yeah,
better
done.
than this.
We're over.
But
Get out.
anyways, so
Cancel.
they're actually longer little books. Not like full blown books, but I'd say at least 50 pages.
Kind of like
And-
the size of mangas.
Yeah. So they're like manga sized books, and they're about like cowboys and love and all that. And they don't show.
Did you ever read one of these things about Bandit Ridge?
No. It's funny because when my parents split up. Anyways. I wanted to get to before you fuckers did. I was at my dad's house spending some time there, and I found this comic book, and I was like, oh, cool. And I read through it, and it doesn't show full out like fucking, but it does show, nip slip here and stuff like that. And I read through it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I was like fucking 9, and he saw it, and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I read it. And I went to like look at it again, and he just snatches it up. He goes, no, once is enough. And he fucking puts it away. I was like, okay, because I'm not gonna
That's
fucking remember
magical.
everything I already saw. But yeah, so they still do that in Spanish, but that's what it used to be, minus the erotica. It was like cowboys and detective stories and weird tales and shit. Before
Interesting.
he got into comics as superheroes.
Yeah, Steven, I do agree with you that it's very hard sometimes, even for somebody like, because like I'm more into DC Universe than I am into Marvel Universe, even though I like some of the Marvel comics better right now. So I could basically read a DC event and know a lot of stuff or get the relevance of a lot of stuff. But there's still fucking things that I go, okay, what's the relevance of that fucking character? And I gotta look up the character and then I have to read the backstory, which is sometimes fun. But I get your frustration with it. I understand.
Have you ever been stuck in the Wikipedia sinkhole of like, that happened in this event? Okay, what's that event? That event was caused by this event. Okay, let's fucking tab that event.
Every Green Lantern event led me to that.
Oh my god!
No, actually, every single Wikipedia article leads me to that fucking circle. Like, I have lost days on Wikipedia where I'm just like, oh, let's look up Nikola Tesla. Oh, Nikola Tesla invented this, this, and this. I wonder what that does. Oh, that is now this. And I end up looking at, like, who invented horseshoes when I start with fucking, like, Nikola Tesla.
Dude, I want Tesla horseshoes now!
Dude, but that's the best part about Wikipedia.
Eduardo walks away and he's just like, I found Bigfoot.
No,
that's the best part about Wikipedia. Tangential learning. It's the greatest thing ever.
The meaning of life
I went on a learning fit, man. I just sat there for hours, like, learning shit.
And then you find Kevin Bacon.
How many web pages does it take to Kevin Bacon?
That was the joke, Tyler. Thank you.
So, reining it back in again. But, I mean, how do you guys feel? Like, if it turns out like New 52, personally, I'm going to be really disappointed because I think New 52 started strong and then kind of went, eh.
I didn't think of it for the reason that you brought up, where it's like it's going to be a lot easier for kids, you know, now and young and our kids eventually to get into comic books if the writing and everything's done right now. I didn't think of it in that way, and for that aspect, I'm all for it. And to be honest, I'm not so married to what's canon Marvel right now. I mean, there's
because it doesn't make sense anyways. It's so fucked up.
You could time travel your way out of anything,
pretty much. Or parallel dimension, or
a time bullet, or some shit like that.
Oh god, don't bring up the fucking time bullet. That was DC. That was DC.
Sorry.
The bullet went through DC and hit Marvel.
That's how it works.
So I think the reason New 52 started failing was because they lost faith in their books way too quick. For a while there, it was every other week they were like, no, we're not doing this, we're doing that. It's like the guy who was deciding which books to do was fucking bipolar. One week he was happy and all these books get continuation, and the next week he was sad and it was like, fuck you, fuck you, gone.
They just want to make a Mexican romance.
Maybe it wasn't a guy, but a dog.
It's called
on a jump to conclusions, Matt. Right?
Oh, fuck you, jump to conclusions, Matt.
So instead of a guy sitting there picking stuff, he's just like, all right, dog, just walk on this mat and we'll figure it out. And there's like a bunch of comics and just stumbles around. And he's like, those...
it was more that they...
to conclusions.
They always just lost faith in them. Like, Static Shock did one trade paperback, and they were like, out, it's not doing really well. I'm like, did you ever think of maybe writing it better? Like, maybe give it a second shot with somebody else? They finally did it with Teen Titans. Like, Scott Lobdell was tanking that series. The Lobdell run of Titans is fucking horrid, and I hate that I have to buy them to complete my collection, but I do. They're awful, and apparently the new one is great, but they gave that one the pass because it was a name brand thing. But things like Static Shock and Animal Man are just... Well, Animal Man got through, 4 runs? It's over. It's gone. There's no more Animal Man. That was the best one they had going. It's over. There was Deathstroke got canceled, although that one was admittedly weak. But they didn't want to put any more effort into it. They just went, it was bad. Fuck it, switch it up. 52 titles, bitch.
I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed Justice League Dark.
Yeah, that one's actually still running, I think.
I'm just saying,
totally different cast now, but that was a really good run. So I think Marvel could do something really good with it. I hope Marvel does something really good with it. I feel like we're just going to end up getting comic versions of the movies, sadly.
Oh,
actually, they have announced that.
Money.
Oh, that's going to be its own thing?
No. What they announced is Marvel has said that they're actually pulling the Movieverse to incorporate into the comics.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, but the Movieverse was just kind of a Mutant Ultimates universe. It was a little bit of a spin on the Ultimates, which it fucking works for film. Fucking perfect for film. But
if they do it in as much as... So they had the, what was it? The Ultimate Spider-Man show? The new one that had Drake Bell in it, and it was done by Paul Dini.
I don't like that show.
Maybe. I don't fucking know. One of the goofy adjectives they put in front of fucking Spider-Man is the newer one.
The ostentatious Spider-Man.
Exactly. But that one, they tie everything in. Like, Spider-Man is in the DC Marvel universe.
That
Thank
Mexa
you.
scared
Thank
me.
It totally threw me off. So Coulson is their principal. He's a double agent disguised as their principal for a while, and Coulson, links them to the Avengers and to everything else. So really, they're in that universe. And if they did something like that, where it's like, yeah, we're tying it in just the fact that everything is kind of interconnected, because they already did that in Ultimate. Even fucking everything was Oscorp. Everything was Oscorp. Oh my god. If they do something like that, it's fine. But if it's like
I feel like they try to
directly
do
from the movies,
Oscorp being the equivalent of DC's what's Lex Luthor's company?
LexCorp?
Yeah.
They weren't that
I'm
much
not
of a
good with names,
Oscorp,
bitches.
LexCorp.
oh please, those two have been stealing each other for years. My favorite example is Deathstroke and Deadpool. Slade Wilson, Wade Wilson, awesome mercenary. Masks are two-tone colored
No.
masks.
Awesome mercenary with a mouth.
That's their one's
Bing.
goofy and one is serious.
That's
but even
like
still,
Vanilla
they're the same
Vanilla Ice's
character.
when he was trying to explain why his song was better. There was a Bing in there.
And
I actually
think-
don't like Deadpool.
Oh, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
I'm
Deadpool's
sorry,
so
it's just not my character.
Any character that is the Discordian character.
No, I know.
He actively breaks the fourth wall. He's
Yeah,
a
Which is
that's
why I don't
actually
like
my
him. That's
favorite part.
literally why I can't stand it.
Oh, it's the best. You're just wrong.
It's not my thing.
You're just wrong. Everybody hates you. We're all judging you.
That's fine, I can
Deadpool
be
movie.
wrong.
Deadpool movie
Doesn't
hype.
happen much. but,
Deadpool
you
movie
know.
hype. Everybody hates you.
Let's all hold hands except for Steven. I'm going to reach out. Devin,
Yeah,
Eddie.
you don't get to be a part of this. No.
No, fuck it.
You're not in our, you're not in our
Get
race.
out of here.
Deal with it.
Wait, does that mean I have
I-
to do this? Am I playing Fantasia again?
Uh,
Because my arms hurt and my
All right.
boobies.
I think it's time for. I think it's that magical time of.
I think it is that magical time.
Steven, take
The
us
time
away.
is Tyler's top 10. Warning: may contain 1 to 10 items.
10 cosas o menos.
Yeah.
Getting on a Disney ride, I'm saying the top 10 list. So tonight's top 10, you get a choice because.
Wait, you cheat and use your phone? We never knew this.
What do you think? I just memorized this shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have written it down personally. I'm just saying. I've got notepads all over the place.
I have a notepad app on my phone.
Your
So
phone
during
looks
the day,
like a
If your
doomy
phone
doomy
is the
bright
devil.
light. Kalima.
All right. So this time we're gonna do the choice between the two losers.
We can't.
Okay.
These are two top 10 lists that I've put up against each other or with other ones,
It's because
and they
he really
and-
wants to do that one thing on anime. That's why. He keeps
So what are the
bringing it
two?
back.
All right. What are our 2 lists? Come on.
the two. Well, if I wanted to do the anime one, I would just say I'm fucking doing anime, and you are all sitting in
Right.
chairs, so you have to listen to me.
La, 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 la.
You have earphones on. You're not doing anything when you.
I can only hear you better now.
Anyway, so list number 1.
So your two lists are the top 10 anime of all time, and also the top 10 fictional vehicles of all time.
I actually was thinking about the vehicles last week, so I'm voting for that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Vehicle.
one for vehicles, 2 for vehicles.
Mhm.
Okay, so then Devin, fuck off. Whatever the hell you want.
How did this turn around on me so quick?
You stayed quiet, so fuck you, you piece of shit.
Okay, so we're finally doing the top 10. This one's lost like 9 times. Like,
I'm well aware of it, but I didn't hear it last week, so I'm like,
And-
maybe we should do that one.
and the twist to this, I've not even done the list yet. There's nothing on there. So the top 10 list, and I'll throw in I'm going to do them a little out of order right here in honor of what I could see in Devin's background right there, which is the Kingdom Hearts wall scroll, which I also have that wall scroll. And we're going to throw in the gummy ship.
Oh, I
to
thought
be-
you were talking about the gigantic bong.
That's a
No.
treadmill.
That's a huge bong.
No, I was
can-
talking about the other like cloth-looking bong directly behind you.
That's a couch.
I know. I'm impressed too.
Devin, Mexicans can turn anything into a bong. Why are you smoking the donkey?
El burro.
Oh man.
Okay. So this is Tyler's top 10 list. First one on the list for vehicles is the gummy ship from the Kingdom Hearts universe, which so many people hated.
No,
so
it
many
was fun. You're wrong.
No, they hated it to the same degree that people hated Blitzball from Final
Oh no,
Fantasy.
Blitzball was actually awful.
It's my second favorite vehicle. No, I love the gummy ships, and also just the fact that because I mean, it was boring for a bit, but then when you actually collected enough of the parts that you could start making your own gummy ships, and you made all these like ridiculous, awesome things. Like you could make them actually look like a real boat with just like fucking cannons coming out the side.
I just thought it was like Legos.
I swear to God, though, if you say the Mako, I'm gonna punch you next time I see you.
The Mako from Mass. Very nice. But no, I just thought it was really, really fun, and they made it like a more in-depth version of it in number 2, which I'm okay with, but you didn't really need to, in my opinion. It's like the same thing. And I had to throw that in there first because I see the Kingdom Hearts wall scroll behind Devin, of which I have that wall scroll not up right now. I have a totally different Kingdom Hearts wall scroll up behind me over here that you can't see.
No, you're pointing at your door, dude. I see nothing.
No, it's probably off camera, but I every time I go to buy a new wall scroll, I like see an awesome Kingdom Hearts one, and I have like 9 Kingdom Hearts wall scrolls. So that's the gummy ship. Next off of that is going to be the Bebop from Cowboy Bebop. It's
Okay.
in Cowboy Bebop, which is really cool
This
because
is where I tune out for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
you go smoke your couch, sir. No, the Bebop was really, really cool because it was essentially the Millennium Falcon of the series, because it was like an old beat up ship that used to be like a mock fishing vessel that they like do a ship, and it was just like an iconic character of the show because a lot of the show took place inside the ship, and it was a very, very cool ship, and I mean animated well all over the place. Super fun stuff. Next one on there is going to be from the Twisted Metal series, which I'm still very much a fan of, even though the last game kind of sucked dick. Was Sweet Tooth. Is the Sweet Tooth vehicle?
Sweet Tooth over Minion?
Minion's fun, but Minion, you can't have fun playing with Minion. You just kill everything. There's no.
I had a blast playing with Minion because I was always like dibs on Minion.
Because you get to
and then
win.
And then I ruined my friend's day.
By friends, he means his brother, because after that, he didn't have any friends.
Yeah, no one would play Twisted Metal with you after that. No, I just love the Sweet Tooth vehicle, and it's evolved throughout the years. I mean, even because they went into the Twisted Metal Black series, where all the vehicles got really dark and cool and edgy, and they literally had the weapons like modded onto them, which made them even look awesomer. And then and then the recent game, a fucking mech and was running around like ridiculous.
Yeah, I never played the one where he turned into a mech.
It made no sense, but I still loved doing it. It was basically like took all your special meter up, and it was just ridiculous to play as. So there's the Sweet Tooth off that. Next one is from this might be just like a me thing only, but I hope one of you goes, yeah, I did that too. The Banshee from Grand Theft Auto 3. Which was pretty much the only. It's pretty much the only real sports car in that game. Like ridiculous.
No, that was one of my favorites.
I know which one he's talking about, and I could never drive it.
The
properly.
Cheetah, I think, is the other one. Those two, the Cheetah and the Banshee.
Because it was Grand Theft Auto 3, there wasn't a lot of really fast, amazing cars, and the Banshee, like at the second you start the game, I could do this blind still. You could run to the car dealership that's up on the hill, break through the glass, and then drive out with the Banshee. And honestly, yep. I would play most of the game with that car.
And because its fucking handling was like an ATV, you roll it as soon as you get out of the parking lot.
I actually had a better experience. There's actually a race that you can do with the mobsters that have, they're all in, I think it's called the Panther or the Cheetah, one of those two cars. But they have these bulletproof vehicles like that. What you'd have to do is get a tank so that you could get them to blow up the car and then push it into your garage. And if you got a blown-up, armor-plated vehicle into your garage, you actually got the full vehicle with the armor plating in your garage repaired.
Nice.
That's kind of
that's what I would do. And that was my car.
There's a bunch of garage cheaps that like putting stuff in your garage, like getting a helicopter in your garage and shit.
Yeah, because that's going to go anywhere. Oh, it's gone.
Okay, so next on the list here, we've got... The also a vehicle that's had many adaptations throughout the years, and especially since we're talking about Marvel. But the Goblin Glider from Spider.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just like fucking cool, because I mean I was first introduced to it with Hobgoblin, into Green Goblin, and then like throughout like different adaptations of it, it got like ridiculously huge. Sometimes it was almost like a full blown ship as opposed to like a glider that you stood on. But always really fun, entertaining to watch.
Did you ever see the Demo Goblin?
Oh wait, is that the one from the Ultimates universe? That's like literally
No. This is old. It was Six-Armed Spider-Man and the Demon Goblin. They were mutant versions of both of them, and the Demon Goblin's glider was awesome. It was all like demonic with wings and fire and shit. It was badass.
And it stayed pretty cool, and it's like I said, it's adapted itself a few amazing times in the series. Next on the list here, Devin, you just saw this, or you just experienced this. I love Howl's Castle.
Oh, yeah.
Howl's Castle. I would love to have that fucking castle with the fucking teleporting doors.
So wait.
Only if you have Billy Crystal.
Does that count as a vehicle?
Yeah, it's what they travel in.
Castle.
All right. Well, but then that means that
Easily defeated.
no. But that means that I would throw in like the fucking floating city from SG-1 and fucking Stargate and all those.
I mean,
Well, but the same thing if
I
you
don't
said
really
you could
have-
throw in the Death Star, and the Death Star's the size of a small fucking city. But the Death Star's still a vehicle.
City?
it's the size of a small moon.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, moon,
I
dude.
feel like
A small moon. You don't know how big a
City?
big moon is. It's a galaxy far, far
Moon.
away. The whole Star Wars galaxy could be this big. You don't know.
You're
You don't
right.
know.
So wait a minute, are you telling me it's literally the Micro Machines universe that I have in my closet right now?
Yes.
I'm gone. Bye.
Out.
Okay, so on that note, I'll just throw it in there. Millennium Falcon, also.
Just so you know, the people in Twitch stream agree with you for Howl's Moving Castle.
Hey, thanks.
Howl's
No,
Moving
yeah.
Castle definitely is second top for me, and it's a great movie.
Well, it's
so-
better than fucking Kiki and her bullshit delivery service.
Well,
No, man, it's all about Mononoke
Well,
and
Kiki's
her awesome
What if
rules.
you could ride
on the list.
Kiki around? Would you include her in this list? You can ride her around like a vehicle. She can fly, right? Ish.
She can fly
Jeez.
sometimes.
Well, her broom would be a vehicle.
The child has to come with the broom.
They're fucking
The laws
attached.
of
Yeah.
the country. But okay, so yeah, like I said, we're on the Star Wars note. So the Millennium Falcon, it is a character in its own right. To be honest, the old junky ship that's the
Mhm.
fastest in the galaxy. The all throughout Empire Strikes Back, the whole shit where it kept breaking down, and like I said, it was a fun character. And people still hate me for this comment, but I'm telling you, the only way that I'm really gonna sit up and pay attention to the next Star Wars setup, blow up the Falcon. First movie, blow up the Falcon. And I'm not saying that because I want him to blow up the
And
Falcon.
then
'cause I
they
love.
rebuild it.
Well, who cares?
And then
if
it
they
breaks
rebuild
somebody's
but I'm
leg.
Just saying, like, think about the shit you got left up on Empire at the end, where it's like, yeah, Han's gone, we don't know where the fuck he is, and Han got his fucking hand cut off and shit. You know,
Luke got
like,
his hand cut
Yeah.
off. Han's hand was just fine.
You lost
You don't know what's
all
happening.
your credibility
Han's
there.
leg got broken by the Falcon. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that happened in real life.
But I'm just saying, like, if they did that, I would sit up, I would pay attention, and be like, all right, you have my full on attention. Let's figure out what this is about.
Wait, that
Uh,
lightsaber didn't make you go, I'm paying attention. I don't like it, but I'm paying attention.
You know that stupid Rolly droid did.
It was a practical effect. I gotta take it back.
No, I know.
That
That's
was a
what I
dope
heard.
practical effect.
All right. Next on the list here, this
So
is one you guys might not know about. This one. This one's from video game, more popularly from the anime that the video game is based off of. But it's the Edelweiss tank from Valkyria Chronicles. It's essentially like almost like the Full Metal Alchemist universe, where it's like an alternate World War II kind of situation, and it's fucking yeah. Thanks for that, Eddie. It's based off just like a real like Abrams tank. Like that's the model. That's what it fucking looks like and shit. And it's essentially just an anime that's like all tank warfare and just like fucking badassery and stuff. And there's obviously other stuff going on in the anime, but the video game you actually get to control the tank, and it's really fucking cool. The next on the list is going to be the obviously the TARDIS, which
Oh yeah, TARDIS has to happen.
Eddie is sporting right there. I must
right on
note.
my chest and my belly.
Yeah, I have to use that to cover it. But because he's bigger on the inside. But it's
Oh,
time.
honey.
It's time in relative dimensions in space, so it is both a time and space machine, so it can actually move. So it is a vehicle. Because if it was just I don't consider time machines vehicles because they don't
So,
move anywhere.
did you guys read the article of what's going on in Florida right now with the TARDIS?
Yes.
There's
Oh my god.
There's a couple. There's a couple that had a Doctor Who themed wedding in Florida, and they had a TARDIS built. And then after the wedding, they put it in their driveway. And of course, the homeowners association is bitching because it's an eyesore and this and that. And they have actually said, they're like, it's a vehicle, so we put it in the driveway. We feel like it belongs there. So that's their argument to keep it.
And I hope they win that. I really hope they win that.
As do I.
And then last on the list, not really a shock because of the type of podcast we are doing right now, but obviously the Batmobile.
I was wondering where that was coming in.
Okay, which one? And you might start a fight here.
That's what I was going to say, because basically, depending on which one. So basically, any of the ones for the comic book are fine, because that's their own artist description, everything like that. I'm going to pull in movies right now. We're going to talk about the fucking movie Batmobile. I'm not even going to touch that Val Kilmer piece of shit with bunny ears on it. I don't know what the fuck that shit was about.
I like the Val Kilmer one with the blue underglow.
Well, you're wrong, and that's fine for you, because of where you live and your lot in life. But for us... But for us civilized
I
folk...
want some clarification. What exactly were you calling him and or commenting on there? If you're going to insult the man, I would like to know where you were going with this.
He's calling him
I'm
Ethiopia.
just saying,
Duh.
he has a bong couch in the background, so that wraps up everything.
You think he was like, the pretty lights are pretty.
I didn't even say it was my favorite one. I'm just saying I liked it.
But okay, so not that one. If we have to throw in the movies and everything like that, I do say the Michael Keaton basic Batmobile, because it was very like simple mechanics as far as the modern design of it was looking, because it was supposed to still look like 1950s-ish, like detectives more, but they still like put in the cool tech with the wheels and all that shit, and like the armor plating and Batman Returns and everything. I'll be honest with you,
I live in Oakland. I want the armor plating.
Yeah, right?
No, you need the armor plating. It's not a want; it's a necessity.
It's kind of both. I guess if I had to pick one,
My favorite was.
I'd probably go with the Batman Beyond one, just because like it fucking flies.
Yeah, but so does Batman. He doesn't fucking need it in that.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying
he
if
gets
I
fucking
wanted
lazy.
to have one, that would be the one I would want.
So yeah, obviously I'm excluding the Batmobile, like the Val Kilmer one, like I said, and the weird Hummer thing from the new Nolan.
That was not a Batmobile.
It was a black Hummer without wings.
Fuck that thing.
And I can't even remember if Clooney's Batmobile was in anything that different.
It was assy.
I can't even remember it, to be honest.
The best one is hands down Batman Brave and Bold Batmobile. A, because it has Batman's face on the front of it, and B, because it turns into a robot.
Oh, I hated that one.
That's the best one.
I hated the fact that it had Batman's face on the front.
It was great.
I don't think he's that vain where it's like, hey guys, check me out.
It was Diedrich Bader playing Batman. Everything about that wins.
All right, so the Batmobile is going to wrap up Tyler's top 10 for tonight.
So if I can add a vehicle into there,
Have at it.
If it's a Mako from Mass Effect, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
the Mako from no, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna put
the Jehudi from Zone of the Enders.
Oh my god, I didn't even know you liked Zone of the Enders, dude. There's a cockpit. They drive in a cockpit.
They really do.
There's a literal penis coming off the robot that you jump into that they totally disregard in every cutscene, because like every cutscene it's a close up of the cockpit and you're just like, oh, I'm guessing they're getting into the head, right? And then they'll suddenly zoom in on the cock of the robots and it's like, yeah, you just got in the cock of that robot.
I don't know, man. I feel like we definitely need to mention, and as much as, you know, the series makes my head explode, but the Evas from Evangelion.
Yeah, the Avas are badass. I mean, that.
Wait, now the thing is, when you say that, you have to pick one.
Oh, I'm such a fucking, like, plot whore. I like Ava 3.
The only reason why I say you have to pick one, though, is because they're all individual creatures, and that's why I wouldn't call them vehicles personally. But
they also make my mech list more than I would.
Okay, what about the robots from Zoids? Mechs or vehicles?
Dumb, uneventful. And...
I liked
Fuck
Zoids.
you.
When
Okay,
it gets
when you
fucking
talk shit
Zoids.
about some of the only anime that we fucking enjoy, you asshole.
when the
The only
fucking
thing I know
Lycra
about
Zero
Zoids
gets
is
that
they
green
had to,
armor,
like-
and they're like, the thing can't even fucking stand up, and then he shoots the cannon and kills the guy, and all the armor falls off. You're just like,
the only thing I remember from Zoids is the fact that there was StarCraft maps with Zoids themes, and that's what I liked for Zoids. I've never seen the show, but I got to play StarCraft maps, so I know a little bit.
So literally, alphabetically and topically, if we're talking about Zoids, I think the podcast is over. So Steven, go ahead and take us out.
Wow.
All right, I'll go ahead and give us all our contact details there. If you want to email us and tell us how you feel, or bitch at us or whatever, you
Tell
can
us how
email
you
us.
feel.
Don't tell me how
Yeah,
you feel.
I want to know. I feel good right now.
I don't care.
Or you hate us or whatever. Anyways, it's 5D at 5dpodcast.com. That's with the number 5. We're on Facebook as well with /in5D podcast, all one word. We also have a forum, which is 5dpodcast.com/forum. We're on Twitch these days, which is /5dpodcast on Twitch. And there also will be a YouTube, releases of any video casts that we do, and that should be in 5D. There are 2 Twitter handles from Tyler and I, as well as the main one. The main one is 5D_podcast. I am Figbird4885, and Tyler here is Cosplay Fiend.
And don't forget, we actually do a little bit of game streaming, a couple hours on Thursday nights. Our Windows 7 to 9, sometimes we start a little later just because of technical difficulties. And I believe we're doing the Noobs on MMOs series. Every so often we kind of break the monotony and throw in a newer game. I may also do a small run of Get Out of Hell just so you guys can get a look at that.
Nice.
Right on. With that, do you guys have any closing words, Chyler?
Did he just call you Chyler?
I'm Chyler now.
He's the
I
chai
said
tea of
Tyler, I
Tylers.
said it ridiculously. Come on.
He's
Jesus.
the
I have
chai
to-
tea of Tylers.
I
Was that
have to go to
Chyler?
the doctor to have the procedure fully finished, but Chyler will be back next week.
Okay. How about you, Devin?
I'm just curious to see what happens with Chyler and Binky's Pueblo.
This is going away, first off. And,
Oh, Chyler. See, Chyler.
All right, with that,
up, Pinky?
fuck all you
Goodness
guys.
making me well.
Have a good night.
Good night!
Oh, man.
Oh, that was too much fun.
We're still live, bitches. Give me a second.
No, I know we're still live, because now we have to decide the title. We're going to do it live.
Finish your job!
All right, no, we're going to do this
I'm
live.
out.
We're out in 3, 2.
So we got